Hi, my name is Seema Chandra and with me is my co-host Sarika Bansal. Sarika is a nutrition expert, a health coach, and she's been in the food industry for the last 15 years. She lives by her wellness mantra, and I can tell you she lays out the most spectacular table ever. Her food philosophy is go step by step, no fat diets, and she believes that the slow and steady always win the race.
Thank you, Seema. That was very generous, but you are no less. She's just not a food lover, but she's a powerhouse in the world of food and nutrition. She helped set up NDTV's food portal 20 years back. She was our favorite food show host who introduced us to a lot of global cuisines. And not to mention, she has a master's in public health. So trust me when I say that you are going to have a ball with all her knowledge and stories.
Thank you, Sarika. In today's episode of In Good Taste, is your everyday food killing you slowly bit by bit? I know it sounds alarmist, we're talking about ultra-processed foods.
You're so right, Sherry. It has creeped into our world without even realizing it. And it starts right from the morning, from our breakfast. The breakfast cereals, the cheeses, the sausages.
Yeah.
And then
Flavored yogurt.
Oh, that's a big one.
All the time.
Yeah.
Go into lunch, pasta. You think you're okay because it's a store-bought sauce and I'm putting in some vegetables and chicken. Forgetting that the sauce itself
is ultra-processed. Then tea time. All the namkeens, all the biscuits, all the cookies which you're eating. Ultra-processed, ultra-processed, ultra-processed.
Yeah. And ready-to-eat cake ingredients again.
Yeah.
Mothers are making, pancakes from the boxes thinking that that's great for their kids. So long story short, ultra-processed is poison for you and it is being consumed like never before.
Yeah. So what's the definition of ultra-processed? Ultra-processed foods are formulations which are made in the industry and only the food industries are getting benefited from it. It's a lot of margins they have, so they're making a lot of money. They don't care about anybody's health.
Yeah.
So they're just basically industrial formulations.
So according to this Brazilian categorization of food, Sarika, called NOVA, it's accepted as the worldwide standard in the world of public health. Ultra-processed foods are also known as ready-to-eat food. And as you rightly said, it is industrial formulation. Now, strangely, the Indian Center for Nutrition says that if any food has more than 5 ingredients, which I know you feel is a bit dodgy.
I feel it's a little dodgy because, 5 ingredients, I don't think you can make anything without 5 ingredients. So I would classify ultra-processed food as some 5 ingredients you do not recognize.
Got it.
All the stabilizers, the flavors, the preservatives, the emulsifiers. These are the names which you don't use in your kitchen.
Yeah. So for example, say you're opening a packet of chips. The minute it'll say things, E something.
Yeah.
Funny names. You can't even pronounce them.
Yeah.
And then they've got these formulas.
Regulators, there's acidity regulators.
Xanthan gum.
Yeah.
All of this. And you think, oh gosh,
gum.
this is just food.
Yeah.
All of it are either preservatives, emulsifiers, additives put there and colorings, just to make your food more attractive. And I think you're so completely right in saying this. The food industry is paying billions of dollars to make sure that they get this formula right.
Yeah.
And we're all getting sucked into it. We weren't there earlier. Would you agree?
100%.
Indians were not doing this all the time. We were not eating packaged foods initially.
Yeah.
We were used to come home and, grannies would make mathri.
Yeah.
That's all. Look at us now. Tell me how many kids these days know mathri.
Yeah.
They don't. That's the bottom line. So we are consuming it constantly. There's trouble here.
So there's the difference actually.
Okay.
First, the industry came up with processed food. So processed food has some sugar, salt and fat added to it. But the food itself retains its own shape, its color. Maybe not shape, but color. You can make out it's a mango. In a mango pickle, you can make out it's a mango. So it'll retain some of its color, flavor. So it's still healthy to eat. I mean, if you have no time and you have to consume it, processed food is fine.
Right.
Some of the examples are like the, artisanal breads.
because they are made in small batches, so they don't have to put so many preservatives in it. So it's easier, it's a processed food.
Yeah.
Then some of the, like the dalia, which is a staple in a lot of homes. If you buy that which does not have too much sugar and salt added to it, it is a processed food, but it is healthy. Whereas ultra processed food is not. That's different.
Yeah, it's way, and there is this distinction being made in the world of science and food now, because all studies are saying that ultra processed foods are eventually going to kill you or land up with lifestyle diseases. You just said about dalia. One of the things that comes to my mind, Sarika, is chicken nuggets. We've all given our kids chicken nuggets. There are all kinds of packaged products. I'm not going to name them, but we know potatoes and things like that. Ultra processed, and reason being why, because like you said, shelf life.
Yeah.
All the companies are thinking of shelf life. If you can take a packet of chicken nuggets, put it in your freezer for over a month and a half, 2 months, nothing happens to it, chances are you're giving your kids additives and things that they should not be taking.
Yeah.
So
it's same thing with the yogurt, Sherry. I mean, I thought it's a good thing to tell people that when you make yogurt at home, it gets sour the moment you cut it.
Right.
And you get a store-bought yogurt, you can use it for 4 days. There's no change in taste. So that things are added to it just to increase the shelf life.
The other thing that really it took me a while to get around to is processed cheese versus natural cheese. Now, regular cheese is made up of your milk, your enzymes, a little bit of salt. But when a cheese is processed, it even looks different.
Yeah.
It'll be the cheese slices, your American cheese slices, Indian cheese slices, cubed cheese, all of that. Even your mozzarellas, it's processed. And why is it processed? Because natural cheese...
Ultra processed.
Ultra sauce. Sorry. My bad. Why is it ultra processed? Because you've taken the cheese and you've either pasteurized it, blended it, emulsified it, whatever. And you've changed the shape.
Also, probably there's not that much milk or yogurt in it.
Yeah.
So that's why it becomes ultra processed also, because they're, it's for margins.
Yeah.
So they are probably not adding that much milk.
Well, this brings me to something I suddenly thought of it. There was somebody who came to me about 10 years ago when doing an investigative piece and saying that I want you to see in a lab pizzas that are sold off the market are not actually cheese. They're just things that have been put to give the feeling of the fact that you're eating cheese. So it's got that stringiness in its texture, but it's not cheese.
My
it's
God.
just stuff that's been put in to make it seem like cheese. That was frightening.
It is.
It is
really
actually is frightening.
This latest fad of being vegan, I can understand if you're doing it for environmental reasons, or if you're a vegetarian for some religious reason, then you don't have an option. But people are just doing it because it's the thing to do.
Yeah.
Okay, all the vegan food you're getting in the market, ultra processed. It cannot be.
So give me an example. For example, say almond milk. What would you say?
Definitely. It is ultra processed. In a cup of almond milk, you're getting 1 almond.
Right.
Rest is water, oils, stabilizers. And I have clients and they come to me and they're saying, oh, I'm feeling very gassy and bloated. So I'm like, what are you having? And they're like, I have my cup of coffee with almond milk. And I'm like, why almond milk? They say, no, milk is not suiting me. I said, do you think it's not suiting you, or is it really not suiting you? Like, how did you make that? She said, no, I think almond milk is better. And I'm like, don't do this.
And what about instant noodles? Instant noodles is what? Refined flour, palm oil, salt, and some thickeners and whatever. They're putting solidifying agents. How on earth is it there? How many people are eating those packets?
Yeah. Do you know the number? I cannot get over the number of these instant noodles which were sold in a year. 628,000 tons of instant noodle packets were sold.
In India?
In India.
Coming back to industry, why is it happening? Now, it's one of my favorite topics.
I was going to say,
I love it.
This is your favorite thing to talk about.
Yeah, because I've been reading about this for over a decade, the whole thing about how the industry makes sure that everything is, all your food products have to have the right amount of salt, sugar, and fat. Reason being, there's something called the bliss point. It's a point where you consume something and the neurotransmitters in your brain go, oh wow, I love it. So, talking about bliss point, studies have shown that once a consumer opens a packet to eat, they cannot stop. Why? Because these flavors and textures have been engineered to enhance palatability. That's why you overconsume it. And there's a reason that you're doing it, right? It's all scientifically planned, pre-planned. In
That's
such
why
a
you
way.
have an ad which says you can never eat just one.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Sarika, I love going back to studies. There have been reports that in India, 14% of adults and 12% of children have shown an addiction, and I use my words carefully, an addiction to ultra processed foods. That's where we are headed. So, which means the marketing strategies that these companies are employing, boy, isn't it working?
That's just crazy. I mean, there were so many, as it is, we were dealing with so many other addictions. Now, one more to add to it. So, these food industry, they are very, very smart. They play on it. They do the marketing and people are buying. Why are people also buying? The second thing is cost. To keep the cost low, what do? They have low production cost. So, they have a lot of margins. And because of that, people get happy. They're getting nice things to eat, tasty things to eat, and it's cheap. So they have another strategy. They'll do something like they'll buy a corn. Okay, now they'll put it in savory things. They'll put it in sweet things. They make chips. They refine it, make a flour. I don't know what else it's going in. I think it's going in everything.
Everywhere.
Then high fructose corn syrup. It's going in the sweets as well. So this way, the food industry is getting one product and it's making so many products out of it.
Yeah.
So it's controlled its cost. It's a food industry game, literally.
And again, I'm going to go back looking at this scenario today. According to where we are headed, Sarika, so Euromonitor 2019 is saying, and I'm going to read this, that the sale of processed foods in India has almost doubled between 2012 and 2018, from $31 to $57 per person. Doubled.
Wow.
Right? WHO is saying that retail sales of ultra processed foods has increased at a compound annual growth rate of 13% in India from 2011 to 2021. It's amongst the highest in the world, if those numbers don't mean anything to you. Highest in the world. So one of the things, which is why we're doing this podcast, I think, is people lack nutrition literacy.
Yep.
They don't know what they're consuming,
Yeah.
which is why, and as you rightly said, because of cost, it's easy, cheap, on the go, and that's why the sales are increasing the way they are.
Yeah.
It's omnipresent.
It's omnipresent. It's available. They just change a little bit. They come up with new versions every time. So then people want to try those new versions. So it's a cycle, So they don't let it stop. And people are happy just trying new stuff.
And like you were saying about high fructose corn syrup, my God, it is the worst enemy. It's another way of just having sugar basically in the cheapest form of sugar.
Yeah.
Is put in your packaged foods.
Food. It does a lot to the body though. People don't realize it. And it's really creating havoc with your body, like weight gain, diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, hypertension. And the latest one to add to this is anxiety.
Yep.
So it's just all over. Weight gain, again, ultra processed food. What does it mean? Salt, sugar, fat. So the fat comes in and they put the fat because it's of the mouth feel, and people feel so good. It's like buttery and things like that, which is all artificially done. So people eat more and they make it soft. So people eat it very fast. And because of that, they don't realize it, that in one sitting, how much they've eaten. There are studies. I'm going back to studies, Sherry.
Lovely. That's good news.
That is just you. Now even I'm giving a study. The studies show that without realizing, you'll probably have around 500 extra calories a day consuming ultra-processed food. And this way, within a fortnight, you're gaining around 2 kgs of weight.
Whoa.
And people are thinking, I'm just eating a little chip here, a little chip there. I'm eating a samosa. Once in a while, I'm eating it. They're not realizing what it's doing to them.
So connection to weight gain is that
Yeah.
that clear.
That clear. And weight gain is the main thing for all the other diseases.
Yeah. So for example, diabetes, this I've read again and again and again, that if you're going to consume ultra processed foods, the chances of you becoming a diabetic are sky high.
Yeah.
In fact, consuming ultra processed foods increase your diabetes risk, and studies again, I can tell you, are showing 12 to 31% chance of developing type 2 diabetes if you increase consumption of ultra processed foods. We are the diabetic capital of the world. So how on earth can we afford it? And kids are getting diabetic.
Yeah.
And 3 categories I wanted to share, Sarika, where diabetes are most likely to happen if you consume those foods. Number 1 is beverages, sugar sweetened beverages, SSBs. No, we don't realize it. Number 2, ultra processed meats. You can see, you go into any store now and you'll see there's, sausages and bacon and ham and you name it. That's number 2. And third, of course, sugary snacks. We Indians cannot do without it. Those are the 3 where diabetes and ultra processed foods are, again,
I have to share a story
huge.
here. It just came to me. So some elderly person came to my house and, I wanted to offer her something. So I said, can I get you? It was summer, so I said something cold. So I said, can I get you nimbu pani? And she said, okay. So I got it. And then somebody else came and something happened and orange juice was served after some time. She got so upset, Sherry. She said, everybody else got orange juice and I got nimbu pani. And I'm thinking in my head, I've given you the healthiest thing, that orange juice is just sugar.
Yeah, it's pure sugar. Which reminds me, I have to tell you this. I'm quite proud of it. There was a time when I was doing my food shows where a big orange juice company wanted to sponsor. And I had such a problem. I said, I as an anchor cannot endorse it, right? What if I say you can make the juice at home? Because I knew the sugar content and like you said, there's nothing in it, right? And there was such a tussle. So again, big companies will pay big money to endorse these food products. And when you think about it, I think I would say today, I'm not sure I have facts to back this, but for me, breakfast cereals are the worst. Why do I say the worst? Because breakfast cereals are where you will find that the sugar content is more than dessert. And this is proven.
Yeah. It's we did, when we were talking, remember we said that 1/4 cup of a cereal has around 2.5 tablespoons of sugar. 1/4 cup, like it's this much
Has 2.5 tablespoons
of sugar.
That's crazy. So that's breakfast cereals for you.
Yeah.
And again, you see how the packets and the marketing is?
Yeah.
Iron. It'll show lovely cartoon figures, low sugar, high fiber.
Yeah.
All of that is great. I'm not saying it may not have high fiber, but just the sheer amount of sugar going to diabetes. So diabetes is one. Then you were mentioning cardiovascular.
Cardiovascular, again, because of the salt content, fat content.
In ultra-processed food.
In ultra-processed foods. It clogs your arteries, it increases your blood pressure, which is again a precursor to your heart diseases. So it's creating havoc. The incidence of heart disease have increased because of this consumption.
So interesting, Sarika, because again, if people just think that we're sort of becoming, getting them scared, the idea is not to scare everybody. The idea is that science is saying that now time has come to stop it. And these are studies that are being done on large number of people. In Australia, 10,000 Australian women were tracked for 15 years, right? And they found that those women who consumed the highest amount of ultra-processed foods in their diet were 39% more likely to develop, say, hypertension. In India, what can we do? So, for example, say take you and me. We've tried to avoid these. We've tried to avoid these for our families. What could you and I have done?
So, Sherry, like you were saying, we are discussing about the CBD, the 3 categories which I think are the most risky, for us is the processed meats. The hams and the sausages and the salamis and the pepperonis, which everybody likes.
Right.
Then all the salty snacks. That increases the BP, hypertension. And, people don't realize, but even the low-calorie soft drinks, they also pose a huge effect on cardiovascular disease. Energy drinks, all the energy drinks, they are very, very harmful for the heart.
And highly processed.
These are all,
As are dairy creamers.
Yeah.
But you were just saying about salty snacks. So here's the thing. If, say for example, now we're telling people this is horrible for you, one of the things that I have done is try to substitute and make homemade stuff. So when it comes to, say, healthy snacks, just do multigrain crackers. We will also, of course, make recipes and share with viewers what we are saying, because we don't want to only tell you it's all bad for you. We want to give you some good takeaways. So snacks is the one thing. If you want to stay away from ultra-processed foods, don't have stuff with white flour.
Yeah.
Try and make the flour multigrain, put whole wheat, put almond flour. Again, I'm not saying cut out everything.
Yeah.
But there are ways that you can at home at least cut down.
Yeah.
If not do away with.
I agree. But moving on, it does affect the gut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
The microbiome, everybody knows that word. It gets affected. The beneficial bacteria die. And because of that, we are getting things like IBS, a lot of cases of IBS, leaky gut, and bloating, gas, acidity. This has become a normal. Like, we Indians don't even think that there's anything wrong with us with these symptoms. This has just become an everyday part of life. But this is all because of the ultra-processed food we are eating. So you have to, like you said, one bite at a time, slowly try and reduce it.
You're talking about gut, Sarika. One thing to add to that is what it's doing for children and young adults is clear-cut correlation between consuming ultra-processed foods and anxiety and depression and mental issues. In fact, this is studies now, recently, 2024, the number of studies that have been done, which are showing that if your consumption of ultra-processed foods, if you're consuming them several times a day, your risk for anxiety increases by 50%. That's the correlation. These days, it's no news to all of us that children are more now than ever before facing mental health issues. The first thing doctors are asking is, go get your blood test done and look for micronutrients. See, is your kid and their micronutrients adequate? And why are they saying it? Because kids are consuming ultra-processed foods all the time. There is a correlation. The gut, as you said, is the second brain.
Yeah.
It's the second brain. Again, your bacteria, your gut bacteria composition is going all haywire. It's going to affect your mental state. The chemical imbalances that ultra-processed foods are triggering have to be talked about, I think, in schools. And back in the day, I remember 15 years ago, going to schools, talking to parents, giving talks there about ultra-processed foods. Back then, it wasn't called ultra-processed, in this
I think
way.
it was processed that time.
Exactly, you're absolutely right. Back then, that's what it was adequate to say.
Yeah.
And I remember people coming up and asking me, is it true if my child is having this much of instant noodles, you mean it could have a correlation with how they're feeling? Yes, they are.
But the good news is that the moment you change your diet, you introduce whole foods, you introduce vegetables, you introduce your fruits, nuts, the beneficial bacteria starts multiplying again. And it's a short period. It's not a long period. Within 3 months, within 4 months, you can see that your beneficial bacteria are coming back.
So it's reversible.
It can. Don't get it to a spot where you cannot reverse it. But get educated and start early. The moment you introduce nice nutrition food into your body, it is reversible. Like, how good is that? I mean, if you have that in your hand,
Then why not?
then why not?
So, Sarika, we're talking about my pet peeve when it comes to ultra processed, which is breakfast, sugary cereals. What I have done for very many years is try to make my own homemade granola. You take your rolled oats, take whatever seeds you have, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, whatever, your dry fruit, almonds, walnuts, whatever, again, mix it all, take freshly squeezed apple juice or orange juice, I like apple, and just put it together, put it on a tray in the oven, bake it for 40 minutes. Becomes nice and crisp.
Wow.
Take that, put it in a jar in your kitchen. That becomes your base granola. Whenever you want to eat cereal, take that out, mix a little yogurt, whatever fresh fruit you have, and you have a Bircher muesli.
How cool is that?
And you
And so
know
easy
the
to
sugar.
make.
Exactly. So you've done it for busy moms. It's all very well for us to sit and say, everybody should cook fresh. But for busy moms who are working, your granola's in the kitchen, and you can just make breakfast every day
Yep.
out of it. So easy to do.
I think that's I have to try that. I have not tried it with apple juice actually.
And now you show off about your pizza base. I couldn't believe your pizza base was what it was. No, you have to tell everybody.
So of course, like you said, do not use maida. So I would not use maida. And I made my pizza base with cauliflower and egg. And so you just grate the cauliflower, remove the moisture out of it, add seasoning. The seasoning make a lot of difference. So oregano, some paprika, garlic salt, some onion powder, mix it all up, break an egg in it, and then lay it flat in a pan and you bake it.
And it's to die for.
And
I can tell you. I couldn't believe it when you told me this is what the crust has.
Yeah, it is.
So and it's okay. Again, we're not saying do away with everything. Have the
Yeah.
processed cheese on top.
Yeah.
But at least your base has got taken care
Yeah.
of. These days, you're getting ready-made bases
Yeah.
flying off the
Everybody-
shelves.
Yeah.
And we all
there
know.
are people in my house who love that. So
We shall not name them. We shall not. So let's think about, Sarika, the fact is we've laid out what it's doing for you.
yeah.
We've laid out the fact that there's no doubt it's bad for you. Now, what can be done? Again, I'd like to go back to policy and what industry can do. What can the government do? What can FSSAI do? First things I would say is you can tax companies who are putting junk
Yeah.
in your food. They have the ability to make sure that food is reformulated. It's happening overseas.
Yeah.
It's happening the world over, especially in Europe. We can do it. Just to give you a small example, America has banned this food coloring, red 3 or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Right
That's a
now.
very-
See, again,
Yeah.
banned by industry,
Yeah.
and now they're saying it's carcinogenic.
Yeah.
And now nobody can do it. So they're
It was
giving
all
time.
in the kids' cereals. Huh? It was used in the kids'
Exactly my
cereals.
point.
Yeah.
So industry and government has a role to play.
Yeah.
Tax them if they're doing this. Say that you've got to reformulate it. It's not
Yeah.
good enough to just have it. And also incentivize big food companies
Yeah.
to do away with the high fructose corn syrup. Put something healthier. Incentivize them to make it.
Warning labels like you were talking.
Yeah.
Don't say it's healthy when it is not. They should be penalized for that. So that if they're strict, at least the person who's not nutritionally sound would not fall for it.
Yeah, traffic light system, which of
Yeah.
course we're going to do a whole different episode on.
Yeah.
But long story short, we got to build awareness,
Yeah.
which is why in Good Taste, the podcast, very, very, very needed. Yeah. And for the house, let's tell everybody, what are our quick takeaways?
Prioritize whole foods. That's the topmost. The moment you eat good food, you will not be hungry for the ultra processed food. You always go for that chip packet when you're very, very hungry. So if you're eating whole foods, you're eating your foods on time, you're not going to be hungry for ultra processed food.
Right. And I would say then to add to that, home cooked. Cook at home
100%.
as much as you can. Make batches like they do.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you do it.
Yeah.
Your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, freeze it if you have to.
Yeah.
But make batches, try and make food at home.
Yeah.
I have pizza sauce in
Yeah.
my freezer 300 days out of 365.
Yeah.
So that if any kids walk in and they say, Auntie, we want pizzas,
Pizza.
sauce is ready, I just take it out and it's done.
Yeah.
So there are ways. If you're going to do home food, take charge.
Yeah.
Basically.
And like you mentioned in the beginning of the thing, read your labels.
Yeah.
Things you don't understand, don't buy.
Couldn't have put it better. And lastly, I want to add here, Sarika, is snack smart.
Oh yeah.
Because we all consume the ultra processed foods, not when we're having roti, dal, chawal, no.
Yeah.
Not when we're having butter chicken, no. It's because when we're snacking. So snack smart. Again, try and do, what do you do? I know, and I do a lot of it, is I have nuts constantly. Popcorn, better. Again, I won't go into microwave popcorn. No.
Yeah.
But homemade popcorn. No question about it. So
Yeah.
snack smart,
Yeah.
right? That's one easy way. How do you see this in the future?
I think it'll all come down to how the industries can be managed. You know, if the food companies can be managed, I think it'll make a lot of difference.
So the government needs to step
So the
in.
government needs to stick in because they are the big guys.
Yeah.
They have to be controlled.
And in a growing economy like ours, Sarika, with the kind of youngsters we have, if we don't solve this problem, it's just, as far as I see, it's just going to be downhill from now.
Yeah.
So we've got to educate people, and it also means we've got to do many more podcasts of In Good Taste.
Yep. So it's a wrap on ultra processed food. Always keep it in good taste.
Keep in good taste, couldn't say it better, and watch out for salt, sugar, and fat. Thank you.
If you found this podcast interesting, please like, share, and subscribe to our podcast In Good Taste, where health meets flavor.